is guys that are going to come and buy your presents, throw money at you. You know, you do get a lot, like, even I get it. You know, you get men telling you, you know, like, you're desired by men every single weekend, to the point where it's quite funny, because, like, the girls will talk and they'll be like, guys will try and speak to them when they're out, you know, just at a petrol station, just dead innocently, and they're like, for free, you know, like, because they just, like, in their head, they're like, everyone just loves you, you know. And then, but it's difficult. It comes with a lot of issues. Like, a lot of dancers end up being lesbians because you're just, like, so traumatized by men and all the shit that you get with them. And obviously you're in these changing rooms, there's all these women, and you're in this, like, nocturnal world that no one else understands. And I know for me personally, like, now I speak openly about it because there's been, like, the TV show, there's been so much press around it, that I speak about it and people read about it, and I get that it's interesting, but people don't understand it. So sometimes you feel like public property, because if I was to go to, I don't know, a party, and someone goes, hey, do you know what she does? That's it then, James. It's an interview. Do you know what I mean? Everyone wants to ask me questions, and I'm like, fuck off. Like, I'm not in work. I just want to. So we tend to just, like I say we because I'm part of that gang now, but we tend to just kind of keep yourself to yourself. So your friends, like, I know my friends now are strippers. We all hang around together because it's easier, because we all understand each other's lives and we're all supportive of each other.
Because I've been prostituting, like, I prostituted for 15 years.
God damn it, girl.
So
you got
it's
a
like,
story on you.
Not 15
But I
years,
love
13
that
You was walking the streets.
No, I didn't have to.
I
Because
know.
they had the internet, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you count internet.
It's just,
Are you
well, I
talking
was
about
on
like
Craigslist.
OnlyFans?
I was a Craigslist girl.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a Craigslist tag. I was tagged first, and I was Craigslist.
Okay.
Selling that coochie.
I know that's right. What's the most you sold it for?
$3,500 is the day I quit.
I know.
Why was that the day you quit?
Cause it was trash, and I'm like, I'm beginning to get a conscience. I'm asking this nigga why I didn't nut, and he paid me.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is my last time doing this. For real. And I was in Atlanta. I came here. I flew here to do it. And the guy, he took a break from work. His wife called. I'm like, this is too much.
All right, man, I'm gonna put 2 clips in there. One with the Becky from Liverpool, UK, talking about being a stripper. I'm gonna talk about the Craigslist sex worker. We talk about Becky first. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. It's the best way to help the channel. So, you know, Becky basically was saying that, you know, she was saying that, you know, it was man's fault. You know, that strippers, you know, that lesbian, you know, strippers turn lesbian. And once the more and more you listen to it, bro, you listen to the average woman talk, the sex worker talk, or any women talk, all their issues is always the man fault. You chose a career industry where you're sexualized. See, they be like, well, men are always sexualizing women, but then again, y'all put these wigs on, these makeup on, y'all wear these skimpy clothes. They do know that's part of a male's DNA. A man's DNA, the testosterone, you know, that's part of it. When we see something that we like, we can't turn it on or turn it off. You know, even if it's on an ugly chick and she got a nice ass or she got nice titties or she got whatever, you know, you just looking at it from behind. Like, you're attracted to it. There's no, I have to be a gentleman. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, you know, you see a woman in the gym and she got her coochie hanging out and boot, like, you gonna look. That's just in your nature as a man. You're a man. Don't wear it if you don't want men to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keeping it a bean. So they act like they don't understand what they're doing. You're a fucking sex worker. You're a stripper. What do you think? You think guys are gonna treat you with respect like they're gonna treat Miss Adams that work at Chase Bank? No, you don't get treated with respect. We don't get treated with that type. You are a stripper. Of course, we're going to sexualize you. Of course, we want to, you know, do the two pump Johnson special on you. Of course, we want to feel on you. We want to feel what that ass feel like. We want to feel what them titties feel like. Of course, what do you mean? Your whole job is the art of seduction. See, being a stripper used to be about just seducing the guy, making him feel good, getting some money, getting out of there before you give up the box. But what they want men to do is just forget everything. Forget you a stripper, look at you pure, like you're a regular woman, and treat you like no, you're a fucking stripper. You're a stripper. You know what I'm saying? You don't respect yourself when you chose this. Then she said, well, all my stripper girlfriends, we all hang around each other because we know what it feels like. We go through the same. Of course you do. Birds of a feather flock together. Y'all all hoes. That'll never be erased throughout history. That's part of your DNA. That's part of your plight. That's part of your story. That'll never be erased. Excuse me. Ain't nothing that you can do about it. But they want to make decisions. Women want to make decisions and they want to get bailed out. They get bailed out of everything. You're not going to get bailed out of this. There are guys that will deal with you, that will forget about that, but them ain't the guys you want to deal with. That's the craziest thing about it, just across the board with women. No matter what they did throughout their life, there is a guy that's willing, even though it's far fewer men in most societies, unless you go over to some of them countries in Asia, there's guys that's going to be willing to put up with your bullshit and what you did, but y'all don't want them. Y'all want the guys who don't want you. If you can't tell me that ain't evil or demonic, like you, all these guys that treat you bad, that treat you like shit, you want them to treat you right. And when they start treating you right, then you just turned off. That's crazy, bro. That's super duper crazy in my opinion. But they want a forgiveness plan for everything they do. And getting with a man, it forgives everything they did. They made bad financial decisions. They in debt. They don't have a house or nothing like that. They can get with a man and a man can solve that problem. They can marry him, divorce him, and he has to pay all her debt off that was accrued throughout that marriage, or even before that marriage sometimes. Think about that for a minute. So when they say, oh, I don't want to be married, that's bullshit. What they're basically saying is that I'm cast off to be a whore. I'm marked to be a whore like in old societies. When they found out you was a whore, you was fucking outside of marriage, you was committing adultery, they outcast you from the community. You have to go live in the whorehouses. That's what they want. That's when they wave that white flag and I don't want to be with men anymore. I want to be a lesbian, or I'm happy being single. When you hear that white flag right now, they burnt. They burnt out. They had 3 or 4. They burnt out. They doom. They can't be saved. Now, talk about the other woman that's talking about she was selling it on Craigslist and all that stuff, and all of a sudden she made $3,500 and she quit, and she grew a conscience. And see how they didn't condemn her. And I know you don't want to bring people on your podcast to really, trap them, but this shouldn't even be something that you should be putting on your podcast. If you really about, the black community, you really about black girl magic and all that shit. They putting some of the most doofus, retarded chicks up there, in my opinion. And, the day I made $3,500, I quit. His wife called and I didn't get my nut. And at the end of the day, you providing a service. What do he care about if you get yours or not? I'm here just to, pop you off and keep it moving. And selling it in Atlanta is crazy work. Ain't having any sexual contact with women that's in Atlanta or men that's in Atlanta is crazy work. You're going to catch something you probably can't get rid of. So I hear something about dating in Atlanta. You niggas is nasty. Houston, Atlanta, nasty. And yeah, that's the day I stopped selling it, and this, that, and the third. You grew a conscience all of that when his wife called. And I told y'all the majority of dudes that trick, they don't be single dudes, bro. They be married dudes. They be dudes in relationships. So you just grew a conscience. Where was that conscience at when you made this calculated decision to sell it? And now you on podcasts and they don't even have any shame about it. They don't even have any shame about what they did. And when you deal with women that'll sell it, they'll sell you too. They'll set you up too. They'll rob you too. They're not capable of loving their children. They're not capable of loving themselves. They're not capable of loving anybody. These why these women was cast off and they was deemed witches and demonic and kicked out of communities. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. She said I was on tags and I was on Craigslist selling it and all. Like, come on, man. And as a man, like, bro, how do y'all even I'm a buyer? And like, come on, man, fuck out of here. But hey, man, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Appreciate the love and support. Subscribe, thumbs up the video. Peace. Peace.